Hi friends, today I have another food preservation day for you. So stick around and I hope you enjoy.
For today's video, we will be making and canning up some salsa. And here I have some fresh tomatoes from the garden. I will also be cutting up a whole bunch of bell peppers, different color bell peppers, onions, garlic, some fresh cilantro, fresh lime juice, and I believe that is it that is going into this salsa. Now, I did pull my son in to do all the cutting for me. He does not really want to be on video, so I will not be recording him cutting up all of the items. But once we get all of that into the pan here, and he is squeezing multiple limes into this salsa, and we are going to cook it on the stove for, well, simmer it for about 10 minutes. And once it is simmered, we will be, excuse me, we will be using the emulsion blender to emulsify all of this. This salsa, I am not leaving it a super chunky salsa. I am going to have this as a more smooth salsa. I like to have both for different reasons. So once he is done with this and we cook it for a little bit, we're going to go ahead and emulsify it, and then we will then let it cook on the stove, simmer on the stove for 10 minutes before putting it into our jars and getting it canned up. And we will be water bath canning this recipe. We will be putting it into the water bath canner for 25 minutes for quarts and 20 minutes for pints. And I believe I do all pints this time because my chunky salsa is all in quarts. So for this salsa, I will go ahead and do in pint-sized jars. And I decided to go through my refrigerator to see if there's anything else that I could throw into this salsa. And I had an open jar of salsa, so I went ahead and dumped that in. And I also found an opened jar of some relish that I went ahead and just dumped that into my salsa as well. And I have some pickled onions that I've recently made. I go ahead and dump in a small jar of the pickled onions, as well as some of my pickled garlic that I have. I put in some of the pickled garlic juice, as well as several cloves of garlic. And there goes my pickled red onions. And if you don't have, the pickled onions or pickled garlic, you can just add a little bit of vinegar, whether it's apple cider vinegar or white vinegar, doesn't matter. Just add a little bit of acid to the salsa.
Oh, no.
And
Juice
there
garlic.
is my pickled
Both.
garlic.
Okay. Okay. And then we can go ahead and get vrooming the boat motor.
My boat motor.
Yeah, because I figured I'm not going to be able to push it down through all of that because I had a hard time doing that spoon. So while I have you here, I might as well get as much from you as I can. And there's a plug here.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't get that either.
Button.
Okay, yep, that's good. There's a few chunks, but that's fine. Thank you, darling.
So now I'm going to go ahead and add my seasonings to my salsa. I'm going to go ahead and start with some salt. Now this is a pretty big pot. This is a 20-quart pot. So I'm going to add quite a bit of seasonings. And then I'm going to add some pepper. And next I'm going to go ahead and add some dill. And then I will add some parsley. I should have gone out and get some fresh parsley, but I did. Oh, there's chives. Chives first, then I'll add some parsley. But I just didn't feel like going out to the garden getting fresh parsley, so I just went ahead and added in some dried parsley. And then we'll go ahead and get this stirred up, and we'll bring it to a simmer. Let it simmer for 10 minutes, and then we will go ahead and jar it up. And now I will give it a little taste test. I got a little tortilla chip and given a little taste test. I just want to check it for the seasonings, and everything turned out to be good. I did not need to add any more seasonings to this salsa.
Okay, we'll let the salsa boil for 10 minutes.
Now that the salsa has simmered for 10 minutes, we're going to go ahead and jar it up. And we're going to put some nice new lids on it and rings and get it in a water bath canner for 20 minutes. And the next project we're going to go ahead and work on is getting some chicken canned up. And here I have some trimmed chicken breast. I have about 20 pounds, and I am putting it into these quart jars. And I pulled out some seasoning packets instead of just worrying about doing all the different seasonings. And I did some different seasonings. I did some Tuscan, and I did um, like half an envelope per jar. And I used several different seasoning packets. Some I used like um, a garlic parmesan seasoning blend, and I did a Tuscan blend, and I did a lemon pepper blend. I just grabbed a couple different seasoning packets and use them. And you don't even need to use seasoning packets. You can leave them plain. I just like to have a little bit of seasoning in there with the chicken. The chicken itself is going to make a beautiful, yummy broth, and this is just going to add a little bit of seasoning to that jar. And I will process these for 90 minutes, and I'm using my electric canner. And this 20 pounds of chicken that I had did a full canner load. Since I'm using my electric canner, I can fit 5 quarts in there.
Okay, so that's it for today's food preservation. So hit that subscribe button down below